Hi everyone, welcome. My name is Dina. This is my channel about cross stitch. On occasion I will tell you personal information, just things that are going on in my life, but mostly it's about the stitching. I hope you see something that you like here. Today is the 22nd of June. It is a Wednesday and I'm here to give you a different sort of a report, not a progress report yet on stitching, but more of a whip go report and what I'm about to do today to work on my whip go goals. So the numbers that were called this month, I had already done one, but the other I hadn't, and that was number 16, and it is Autumn in the Village. And you'll see here I've colored it green to let me know go ahead and start working on that. And the only other green I have is, of course, the angel in Nativity, which you've seen just recently. So today was the day I put on my calendar to start working on my whip go goal. Now, let's talk about that. When I did my whip go board, my goal was to start Autumn Village, and it was to stitch the cart at the front. There's a little flower cart here. I think you can see that. It's a little bit small, I apologize for that. But there's a little flower cart there. And that was gonna be my goal. And then when I got out my fabric and I started looking at the best way to start it, this is not up anywhere near the corner. There's gonna be a lot of counting up here. And the center is right over here. And it's much closer to where I would need to start. I would just do my 3-inch down and start. So I thought I do need to do a center start on this. So what I did, to be fair, I counted all the stitches that would have been in this cart, and there were 307 or so. So I thought, well, as long as I get 300 stitches, I should be pretty good as far as meeting my goal. So that's what I'm gonna do. So I pulled this out. This is the Autumn in the Village. It is a Stoney Creek collection. You know I love Stoney Creek, and I do love Stoney Creek, as you know. Lots of back stitching in this one, I'm afraid. But anyway, I want to get it started because that was my whip go, one of my whip go goals. In fact, most of my whip goes that are left are new starts. Isn't that funny how that works? So to do this piece, it's actually on a very neutral, sort of beige off-white fabric. It was stitched on 28 count ivory Jobelin. So I thought, well, okay, I don't know whether I want to do a fall sky or just what. And then I looked in my stash and I had this beautiful piece of fabric. This is, I'm gonna get my little card out so I can tell you exactly. It's from Fabric Flair. And it is one of those pieces that is stamped on one side and plain on the other. But the side that I'm gonna use is this one. And I don't know if you can see it well, but it's got little tiny flecks of a light orange, a little tiny gray-blue fleck in there. It also has little tiny sparkles, not over the whole piece, just every now and then. Very interesting. Anyway, the difference is this is 36 count. I've never stitched on 36 count before. I tried 40 count once. Couldn't see it. Now, Julie McConnell has told me I need to give myself a couple of weeks of looking at it in order to see it. So last night I got out a needle and I went through to see if I could find the holes easily enough. And with my cheaters, I can. So I think this is going to be a lovely stitch. So I double checked everything to make sure it would fit. But this name of this fabric is Confetti with SS. I don't know what that means. Sparkles? I don't know. But what I have here is Confetti, even weave, 36 count, and it's from Fabric Flair. So if you're interested in that, I know it's hard to see on the camera, but it's beautiful. It's so subtle. That's what I like about it. But anyone I've shown this to has talked about how beautiful it's going to be. So I think they like it together. So I have my pattern, I have my fabric, I have calculated where I need to start, which is going to be center, 3 inches down, put in my first stitch. Can't get any easier than that, really, and truly you cannot. And last night I pulled all the DMC. I didn't previously kit it up because it was DMC, and I knew that says start in the middle, 3 inches down, in case I would forget. But I knew I had DMC, and it was easy enough to pick up any that I didn't have. And rather than put them in a kitted up project and not be able to use them for something else, I waited until last night to pull them and kit them. So this is the number of DMC I had. I didn't have them all. And the reason I didn't have them all is that I have several projects, as you know, ongoing, and I've got them fully kitted because that's the way I roll. And all my colors that I was looking for are in another project, and I'm trying to get them out of here with less crinkling. So today I picked up the remaining DMC that I didn't have, and it was quite a few. I was a little surprised that I didn't have these. Some of them I recognize because they are colors that I'm using in my Autumn Bell Pull. Some of them I'm using in other projects because I recognize the color. But isn't that a beautiful palette? That's just part of it. But now tonight, what I have to do before I can start stitching, or I may just go ahead and start stitching until I need one of these colors, but I've got to, at some point, take the time to wrap, because I bobbinate. I'll take the time to bobbinate these few colors and get them in my box, you think? I'm not sure they'll fit. There's too many colors. So what that tells me is I probably am gonna have to get my bigger box. I love these small ones. I can't find them anymore. If you know where to get these, please let me know. They're just 4 sections. They're about half the size of one of the long boxes, and I love them, and I have a couple of them. I've ordered some online that were a different style just because I was desperate to have a small one, but I think this one's gonna take a larger one. And so I will transfer them over tonight after I bobbinate everything. So my plan is to put my first stitch or 2 in tonight if I can, so that I have officially started on the date that I had said I wanted to. Nothing magical about it, just was the date I wanted to start. I had put on my calendar my hopes of reaching all my other goals that I had for my mid-year checkup, my mid-year July checkup, which I did, and I'm just working on that video, uploading it now. So if you're seeing this, you've already seen that one, hopefully. So that's where I'm at. So for my Whip Go board, this will put me one closer to a bingo, but not terribly helpful, because if you look, this is where it's situated, and these 3 have not been called yet, and these 2 have not been called yet. So it's helpful, but it's not critical like this was. You know, when that one was called, I got my first Whip Go. If this one were to be called, I'd have another Whip Go when I finished it. So I'm pulling for number 6. Jessie Marie, I'm pulling for number 6 for next month. Anyway, I just wanted to come and tell you a little bit about my new start, simply because it is my Whip Go goal that I have to work on for the month. And I've set my new goal for 300 stitches, because that would equate to the same amount of stitching I would have done on the cart. And we'll see how that goes. So if I get any substantial stitching at all done tonight, I'll come back and tack it on here. But otherwise, when I finish my goal, I'll come back and share it with you. I hope you are having a great day of stitching. Good night. Good evening, everyone. Welcome back. This is Dina. This is my channel about cross stitch, and I am here to give you an update. It is Thursday. It is June 23rd. This month is flying by, everybody. I don't know about you, but it's going pretty quick for me. Oh, well, I had on my Whip Go board a new start. I mentioned that to you, I think, in the last segment. And my new start is Autumn in the Village. I think that is a beautiful, beautiful piece. I hope you can see it a little bit there. It's a Stoney Creek. And I had mentioned in that segment about my need to change my Whip Go goal to be not the cart, because it was hard to get started there. And that I had counted those stitches and I had around 307 or so stitches. So my decision was that I would start in the middle on this rooftop up here, and I would do at least 300 stitches, and that would be an equal start to me having been able to do the cart if I wanted to count and count and count to get down there. So the good news is I did it, and I started on the roof and I stitched 421 stitches. So there's no doubt that I stitched more than I would have had I done the cart and finished it. And here is where I got to. It's a beautiful top to that house. I've got the rooftop, and then working down, these are beginning to form the holes for the windows in that section. Lots of colors, but very muted, beautiful, light brownie beige colors, just gorgeous. Anyway, I know you're waiting to hear how my first foray into 36 count went. I love it. Now I have a whole bin of 32 count even weave I'm gonna have to work on anyway, but I'll tell you why I love it. It's one strand, and that means you don't have to worry about any legs being uneven, twisted on their self, or anything like that, because you just got the one strand. I also find it interesting because I had, when pulling the colors, if I had a little bit of DMC left on one bobbin, I would pull the next. If I had more than one, I would pull the second color, because I'm used to using 2/2, and it eats up the floss sometimes. And so I figured, oh, I know I'll need the second one. Not sure I will with this one. It is a bigger piece, so I might. But there you go. 421 stitches, my new start, Autumn in the Village, and I've met that Whip Go goal. So I'll grab my Whip Go board and I'll share it with you. Here we are. These have now been colored blue by my colored pencils. I haven't reprinted it yet. This one is the most recent one, of course, being the new start, Autumn in the Village. So it's done. It's completed. I'm excited. I don't plan on doing any of these early because they're all new starts. Don't plan on doing them early. I'll do them as they're called. It'll be interesting if I get 2 new starts called in July when I've got 22 starts in July already. Funny. So when I went to pick up my threads for my Autumn in the Village, I decided I had a 40% off of an item at regular price coupon that had come in the mail on my email. And I wanted to utilize it if I could for something that I really wanted to use. And so one of the things I decided to go look at was the stickers, because I am utilizing stickers in my calendar. my book of days. So, here's my book of days. It's getting kind of thick because I've got all my stickers piled in there that I'm using. But I'll show you what June looks like. I choose a different color palette for each month just for fun. But I haven't written in here today's accomplishment yet. But here's my June calendar. Over here are my 24 hours of cross stitch, my monthly magazine challenge, and my June monthly challenge that I wrote down in here what I was going to do for each one. And then as I completed it, I put a little sticker, and these are color coordinated. These are red, these are gold, and these are the teal color that was on these pages. And that's how I could at a glance look and see what I needed yet to stitch and also what I have done. Now this is, yes, it's a repeat of the information on that little spreadsheet I was writing on that ledger that was my working copy, because this is my final copy that I will keep for years to come. And so I have, each day I've written in the project I've worked on and how many stitches that I have put in there. And then I can show you the May is very similar. It's just different colors. But in May, you know, I had a new start every month in May, and so I put a special sticker here to write what the start was going to be or was. I do this calendar after it's completed. You know, I write in here when it's done. I write in here ahead of time and then mark when it's done. But to write in here is when I finish it. It's the last thing I do before I close up my work for the night is I put in what I've stitched on. So May is red and teal, and it's so cute. But if you notice, I have stickers in here. I have some puppy dog stickers, I have some craft stickers, and then I have some inspirational stickers that go in here. And I'm enjoying using those. They're allowing me to be creative and decorate my book of days. Well, today I picked up a book of stickers called The Happy Planner. And this is the Miss Maker. That's the name of it. This is what I used my 40% coupon for. And I want to show you some of the things. Aren't those cute? They're crafty type items. They're not all cross stitch, but they are crafty, and I think that I can use a great deal of them. And I also like it because they have little sayings in here. I was crafty when crafty wasn't cool. I can totally make that. I'm a DIY kind of girl. Enjoy the little things. Make all the things. Feeling crafty. Create what you love. So these are going to be great stickers for me to use to decorate my book of days with. And I just wanted some more of them because I love them and I'm using them, and I wanted to have a few more to choose from. So I just wanted to share that with you because I know a lot of you are using your book of days or calendars or journals, and you like stickers, and I thought this is a great one, especially if you're a multi-crafter, because this has all of it in there. So I just wanted to share that with you. Well, I'm gonna let you get back to what you were doing. Hope you've been stitching while you were watching, and I will talk to you soon. Happy stitching, everybody. Good evening, everyone. Welcome back. This is Dina. It is June 24th. It is a Friday night, and my hubby and I are about to step out to dinner with friends of ours. They've invited us to their home, and I'm so excited to get to go and spend some time with them and share a meal together. So today, I have had quite an interesting day because before we got that invitation, I had invited a friend from church to have lunch with me today, and I cooked for her. Isn't that interesting? Anyway, so I got up this morning. I got, the house straightened up. I got lunch prepared. spent time talking with my friend. I hadn't had a chance to really sit and talk with her for a long time, and so that was a great catch up. I didn't get to come up here and stitch until about 3:30, and now it's 5:30 and we're about to walk out the door to go to our friends for dinner. So I didn't have a lot of time today. So let me share with you what I did. This morning, while I had my phone call with my friend Glow, which took place right before my friend came over for lunch, I pulled out that Autumn in the Country that was one of my May starts, and I had shared with you guys that I got to doing the border across the top and realized that the square border I had done, the one cross stitch all the way around, I had put one stitch too many in it, and I had to unstitch or frog out an entire side of that piece. So while I was talking with Glow this morning, I sat and frogged it and stitched it back in. So that has been prepared and corrected. That is on my list of things I want to do before the end of the month, so I can strike that fourth one off there. The first one was start Autumn in the Village, which I did. The second one is a By the Bay to work for a prompt, and the third one is to work on another prompt using my project Welcome Home. Here's Welcome Home. And I had started out in the middle, and I did the houses on one side, and then I dropped down below it and I did the blue of the M and the key for another prompt. I haven't done this little door yet. So today I wanted to come back up here where I started and work on houses. And I'm happy to say I got an entire house put in, and it was 228 stitches, and I needed 200 for the prompt I was working on. So here's my new house that's in there. This one right here on the end is the new house that I put in. So I'm really tickled to have it there and have it finished. Even has a little chimney you can't see probably because of the shadow, because I've got it rolled up pretty tight there so I could get this done. But that's another home done. So there are actually 2 more houses here and a tree. And I'll be working on those maybe Sunday, because I've decided that I want to finish this row at the top and have it completely done by the end of the weekend. And since I'm partying tonight, I'll probably wind up doing that Sunday, because Hawk Run Hollow is tomorrow. But thanks for letting me share that with you. I know that was just a small update, but that may be all the stitching I get to do today, and I just wanted to share it with you because, you know, we grab every minute we can get and go from there. So enjoy what you're working on, and I will catch up with you next time. Good evening, everyone. Welcome back. It is Saturday, the 25th of June. I have just gotten back from my Hawk Run Hollow stitching meetup and Hobby Lobby, and I'll share all that with you now. I took my Hawk Run Hollow with me to stitch on today with all the Hawk Run Hollow stitchers, and it was a pleasure to get to do that with them. It was a bit of an investment. I rode with my friend Donna, and it took me 30 minutes or so to get to her house. It's about 30 minutes. But then it was an hour and a half from her house to where the group was meeting this month. They'll rotate it to a different library next month, and it'll be a bit closer. But we decided to bite the bullet and go anyway. And even though it was about a 4-hour round trip drive for us, we did get to stitch 5 hours, and we got to stitch with these wonderful people that we love to see, and that's the only time we get to see some of them. So took my Hawk Run Hollow, and I want to share it with you because when I was stitching on it, I realized that it could meet a prompt for me. How wonderful. So on Friday, there was another weekly challenge that was published by Carrie Pickering, and it was called American Cowboy. Now, I'm sorry this is in a closed Facebook group, but I do still need to share with you what I'm stitching and how and for what, so forgive me that I can't share with you how to join the group because it's closed. But One of the prompts in that weekly challenge, which was called American Cowboy, was to stitch on a whip that had food in it, something that represented food. So if you look in my Hawk Run Hollow, even though I am working on the second block, in this piece, there is a block that has a farmer, and he's planting food, and on the little sign there, it says peas, P-E-A-S. So, and there's green tops already of the food that's coming up. He's sowing seeds, so I think that in and of itself represents food just fine. And so I'm using my Hawk Run Hollow to meet that prompt. And it's one of those where you only have to stitch a maximum of 200 stitches, which made it easy for me today because I did stitch 253 stitches while I was at the Hawk Run meetup today. I actually stitched more than that, but the frog has continued to visit here and I want him to leave. He is far too comfortable here. I got this out and I started on this gray, which is in the heels, and I started stitching across here, and when I got to this pattern, this is a repeating pattern every other stitch, and it I was just going along, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, and I got too many on the first row without realizing it, and then I replicated it all the way down, and I was stitching across and back doing full crosses because it was just every other stitch. And so I would do a stitch and then I would skip a space and do a stitch, and so I just did it one way and then back the other way, back and forth till I finished that whole section. And then when I started to stitch across here, I realized it wasn't lining up with the section of the house that it was supposed to line up with. And I went back and I counted again, and that's when I found out that I had too much in here and I had pushed it over too far. I had to frog out this entire section right here and re-stitch it. I was not a happy camper, but I got it, and I got it put back in, and I actually went ahead and stitched a few stitches beyond where I got to, and so that makes me feel like good. Now I'm, it's fresh and new, and it's all green field, new stuff going forward. So that represents my 253 stitches in the gray here for today, and I am going to put it away because I did pick up that extra challenge on Friday, and I want to stitch other things to meet those prompts as we go, and I have just one prompt left in a challenge that ends next Friday. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, that I have a coupon that I won for stitching so many stitches in this same group last month that I get to apply to any of the weekly challenges, and you get to count it for your highest level of stitches that you would have normally stitched. And if I go back and confirm that, I will be using it to finish out the challenge from last week, so that I don't have to stitch another prompt in there. I can just go ahead and concentrate on the prompts for this week. So that works out just fine. I have something I really am excited to share with you. I recently showed you a finish, and it was my crabapple tree. And I said I had found the perfect frame for it, and I do believe I did. And I went to Hobby Lobby and I took the frame with me, and I had wanted them to take the mat that was in it, because it was the perfect color, and just make the hole in the middle a little bit bigger, because my piece, it was covering a little bit of my piece when I tried to frame it myself. And I learned that their equipment that cuts their mats can't cut one a second time. So once they've already cut a mat, it can't be cut again. So you have to start over. So I picked a mat as close to the color that was already in my frame when I bought it, and because that was the color I wanted. And they had one that was very close. It wasn't perfect, but it was as close as I could get, and they had to order it for me. But they did, and they cut it, and then they went ahead and mounted my cross stitch and framed it for me in the frame that I provided for them. So it was wonderful. So let me tell you, today I got a phone call while I was at the Hawk Run Hollow group, and the young lady was so excited. She said, "Oh, Miss Hudgens, your mat came in early and I went ahead and did it today. You can come get it. So my friend Donna said, oh, I know where you're going tonight. And she was right. So here is my crabapple tree, fully framed. First, let me show you the frame. Sorry, I hit my floor stand. I apologize. I think this is beautiful. Look, this is, oh, almost like a polka dot up there, but it's just to look like it's had a chemical burn or something on it, but it's just beautiful. And then this section is gold, but it's got a brown stripes in it, you know, like almost like a grain looking. And then these are beautiful flowers and leaves. So it's a floral type motif around here. And I think that's really important because this frame goes from dark to light, you know, has a wood grain look to it and has flowers in it. And this piece, the tree trunks, look just like this frame. You may not be able to see it because of the glare, and I'm sorry about that. I have such a bright light on it so you can see it well. But the tree trunks have dark and light brown in them, and they mirror this color in this frame perfectly. And of course, if you look at that little white lacy border, what you see are floral and leaves across here and all the way around. And then of course there are leaves on the trees and flowers in every corner. So it just, to me, it just married these two together beautifully. The reason that I wanted this neutral brown mat is because I really wanted this frame to be more neutral colored so that the pink just really popped out. And I wanted the brown to pull out the trees, you know, the brown tree trunks, because there's a lot of beautiful subtle colors in here, but the trees get lost, I think. Anyway, I thought it was perfect. I saw this at a resale shop, a charity shop, and I measured it, and I knew if I could get the mat adjusted, it would fit, and I just loved this frame. My son carried it out to the car for me. He thought it looked great too. When we got home, we put the piece next to it, you know, and put it in there and thought, wow, that's gonna look really well. So I'm gonna get back here a little bit further with it so you can see the whole thing. There we go. Try to get some of the glare off of it. I still have it wrapped in the plastic it came in today. I haven't even taken it out. You know, I just wanted to share it with you so quickly. But there is my crabapple tree in my frame. I'm really happy about that. Love it. So thanks for letting me share that with you. I was so tickled to get to pick it up today. So glad they got it early. They actually told me it would be ready July 4th. And I was thinking I was going to have to go out on that holiday and pick that up. It's been a great day today. I'm really happy that I got to go and stitch with my friends, and I'm really tickled to have gotten to spend some time with my friend Donna as we were driving back and forth and talking and catching up with one another, and that was great fun. I do hope that you are having a great week of stitching. It's almost through the weekend now, so we'll see what tomorrow will bring. But in the meantime, I hope that you are healthy and well, and that you're enjoying everything that you're working on. I know I am, and I hope you are. Hi everyone, welcome back. Today is Sunday. It is the 26th of June, and you know what that means? WhipGo numbers go out tomorrow. Yay! Well, I am doing a little bit of wrapping up stitching today in anticipation of getting my new WhipGo assignment for tomorrow, because most of my WhipGo numbers that are left are going to be a new start. So if I get a WhipGo call, I might want to go ahead and get that done this month, just so I can mark it off next month because of all of the new starts that are happening next month. But I want to share with you one of the things that I pulled out today so that I could do a little wrap-up stitching for the month of June on it. This didn't make my top 4 items that I wanted to review, simply because the other ones were a little more pressing and I didn't have a deadline very close on this one, but it is a gift, and that gift will be for next Christmas. So I have about this coming Christmas, so I'll have about 6 months left. And it hit me this week that, oh, I only have 6 months left, and next month I'm going to be doing all those Christmas starts. So that's only going to leave me 5 months. I really need to make sure this piece is halfway through, and it wasn't quite halfway through. So I now have got it just over the halfway mark, and I'm very pleased about it. So before I share it with you, I have to ask my sister Stephanie to look away, and I'll let you know when it's safe to look back again. Thanks for doing that, Steph. This is what I'm working on for my sister for Christmas. And you saw this was one of my 5 starts in my May Monday starts, and I started it right here in the middle and worked this direction. And if you recall, I started that at the beach and I didn't have all the threads I needed. I was out of one in particular, several of them, as it turned out, and I had to skip all around, and I don't like doing that, but I made it. So now what I have been able to do is to come back and pick it back up. I've got all my threads in hand. I have completely finished that whole side. And I will show you the middle of this piece is about right here. So I've gotten just a little bit as I've been stitching, you know, I've gone ahead and completed whatever I was working on if it went over the page break. And so that's where I am now. This was the last thing that I was working on, and I stopped because I have some other things to put in here and I want to make sure I can work around it. But I love this color palette. I think it is gorgeous, and I think it's going to be really, really precious when I'm done with it. So it is just over halfway. Just finished working on that a few minutes ago, and today to get it there it took 314 stitches. Okay, Stephanie, you can look back. I'll share one little thing with you and then I'll let you get back to what you were doing. We have company coming, friends from a long time ago. You know, we've been friends with these individuals for many, many, many years. We've shared vacations together in years past, and they are coming over from their home in Alabama on July 2nd, and they are going to be with us through about the 6th of July. The husband of the couple is going to be running the 4th of July road race with my husband, the Peachtree Road Race. I think it'll be my husband's 33 or 34th year, I'm not sure. But they're going to run that together, and they're going to visit with us for a little bit. And if you know what I've been planning for July, you know I'm supposed to be starting something new 22 days in July. And I started working on that on the 1st. And I had planned on making new starts. I think it was every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. That's how I was going to get my 22 in. And then I had 2 extra days that I had picked throughout the month that I was going to start something new. So I'm going to have to go pull my schedule and look at it, and I may have to shift that a little bit because I don't want to be putting myself under pressure, feeling guilty that I haven't made my new start while my friends are here, and I don't necessarily want them to feel that I don't want to be with them. I'm rather do this new start than spend time with them. So I do have to make a little adjustment. So I'll be working on that, and once I get it done, I'll share it with you. That's it from here. That's my update for today. Enjoy your stitching. Please stay safe. And I've heard that there's still quite a bit of COVID going around, and even though it doesn't seem to be as volatile as far as making people really, really, really sick. It is quite contagious. And so please be careful, wash your hands, be careful where you go, and just still take care of yourself. You're special, and you mean a lot to the people in your lives, and you mean a lot to our community. So take care. Happy stitching, everybody. Hello again, welcome back. It is later in the day on June 26th, and I am here to let you know I have some wonderful news. I had set 3 goals today when I sat down and started looking at how many days I had left this month, to do 3 more things because I finished the last 4 goals I set. One was to finish my houses in Welcome Home, the whole top. I wanted to finish that up. And I wanted to possibly finish off page 2 of my By the Bay. And then I wanted to go ahead and rearrange and schedule my Christmas starts for Christmas in July, because I have company coming. And I'm happy to report that so far already I have completed 2 of those things. I have my new Christmas in July schedule ready, and I have finished my whole group of houses and trees that make up the top of my Welcome Home by the Cricket collection. I'll show you where I'm at. So there you have it. I finished them off. And I even did the back stitching up there. There was very little back stitching, but I got it done. And I am really pleased. You can see this skinny house. Which one? This one is hard to see. They had you back stitch this with a very light thread, but this one, the 2 sides are back stitched. And then these 2 houses, the rooftops, have a little back stitching in them. It's hard to see it, but it's there. Not much, it's very subtle. So, this little goal I set for myself this month, for the rest of this month, has been met. I'm thrilled to death. Now, for the Christmas in July, what I did is I just rearranged some new starts. I went ahead and put new starts on the 1st and the 2nd, and I skipped them down to the 6th after our company leaves. I had made 1 change in my lineup. I took out 1 piece that I was going to start as a gift, and I decided I don't need it until a year from now, and so I'm not going to go ahead and start it. And instead I inserted the Stitcher's 12 Days because I had wanted to start that anyway, and I had inadvertently left it off the first list. I have my list ready. Got them all here. There's 22 starts. These are the dates I'm starting them, and these are the names of the projects. So I will put this in the description box, and this is my tentative schedule. This is what I'm going to try to do. And if you have any of these projects and you want to start them with me, please feel free to do so, and let me know if you're going to. I would love that. That's why I'm putting it in the drop-down box, so you'll just have an idea of what day I'm gonna try to start each one. It's been a great day of stitching. I have met a couple of prompts tonight when I finished this top row here and counted up and realized I had 349 stitches. I went into my American Cowboy challenge and found that it would fit one of the prompts. I hope you have a great start to your week next week, and I hope it includes stitching. Happy stitching, everybody. Good night. Good morning, everyone. How are you? Oh, I'm doing great. I hope you are. My name is Dina, and this is a new episode in my channel about cross stitch. Another little segment here. Today is the 28th, I believe, of June, 28th of June. And I wanted to give you a quick update before I head out the door. I have some errands to run today. And yesterday I did some stitching, and I was Zooming late last night with a friend, so I didn't take a video. And so this is for yesterday's stitching on the 27th. I pulled out my By the Bay, my 13th colony that I'm working on, the 3 patterns that I'm going to put into one. And I had decided that while I had a few days here of stitching whatever I wanted to stitch, that I would go ahead and work to finish page 2, because page 2, to finish it, only had 2 clouds to stitch. And then there were 3 stitches at the bottom of it on the next page, and I just put them down on the next page. But anyway, so I pulled this out, and I was able to get these clouds over here on the side of the tree done. These 2 were already done. And so now page 1 and page 2 are finished. I have started on the other bottom 2 pages because I did the tree all the way down to make sure I had room, if you'll recall. And so now the pages under the tree, these 2 that go down here, they're quite stitch heavy. Oh yeah, that's where all the stitching is. The sky was the easy part. But there was 3 stitches off of this tree and about 3 stitches off of that top of that sail that were on the bottom of the page with the clouds, and I literally cut them off of my working copy and taped them onto the working copies down here so I would get them in the exact right position. But I wasn't going to count all the way down and do 3 little stitches down at the bottom. That didn't make any sense to me. So here's where my By the Bay is, and I'm putting it away now. But I thought that was a great goal to hit before I start all of my starts for July, because I won't get to touch a lot of my whips in the month of July, so wanted to get that done. All right, I'll put this away in my Garon bag, my butterfly bag. I think it's such a pretty bag, and I can put that now over with my whips over there. So that's it. I'm working really diligently to get ready for my July starts, and so that I can just grab it and go, you know, when it comes. And then I have today and 2 more days to stitch before the end of the month, and I am prompt free, so I can stitch on whatever I want to. So it's interesting how difficult it's been for me to decide what to stitch on. So that's why I came up with these little goals, to finish page 2 on that one, to finish this on that one, finish the houses, you know, on this one, because that gave me a goal to work toward, and I had a purpose on picking which one. Now that I have 13 whips and I have nothing telling me a prompt that will cause me to pick one, they're all open to being chosen, and this is unusual for me, and I'm finding it a little difficult because I want to do them all. So I'll let you know what I picked as I go. In the meantime, happy stitching, everybody. Hi everyone, welcome back. This is Dina, and today is the 29th of June. We have 1 day left in this month. Can you believe it? Now, this is an interesting phenomenon. I do prompts almost exclusively now. So I planned what I'm going to stitch based on that prompt, and then whatever day I want to stitch it to meet the prompt, I can. So everything's not ironed out every day. It's just these are the things I need to stitch on this month to hit all the prompts, and I stitch on them when I like. I finished all my prompts. I didn't have anything that could encourage me or lead me to a particular project. So I thought, what am I going to stitch? I've hit every small goal. I set even extra goals. I was at a total loss. Yesterday, I probably could have stitched last night. But instead, I did something stitching related. I made up all my cards, my project cards for July, for all those 22 new starts I'm going to do. I picked a replacement project for the one I can't find the pattern for. Anyway, I sat and wrote out all those cards and got them ready instead of stitching. So today, when I came up here, finally after doing some other things to get ready for company, mainly helping my husband also with our new treadmill, helping him get it put together and get it programmed and whatnot, I came up here to stitch in the afternoon. And I was sitting here thinking, what am I going to stitch on? Everything is calling my name. What am I going to stitch on? So I got out my little cards that I just mentioned, my project cards. I have them in a little expanding wallet. And I have a project card on everything that's active, and all my finishes are in the back. So I went through my project cards today to remind me of every project, and I looked specifically to see, have I touched this one? Have I hit a goal on this one? Is there anything I want to do before the end of the month to get it ready? Because it's probably going to sit dormant in July because of all these new starts. And I came across one card and I thought, oh, I haven't touched it this month. I don't think I had it for a prompt at all. I almost forgot it was there, and I enjoy it so much. So I ran in the back in my storage closet where I keep my roller frames, and I pulled out Royal Games 1. This was one of my recent new starts, and I hadn't stitched on it all month yet. So I set a little goal for myself today. I wanted to complete the stitching, the cross-stitching portion of her arm and hand and the flower in her hand. I did everything except all the leaves, because the leaves, once you stitch them, you have to back stitch the stem that runs through them, and you stitch that over other stitches. And so I don't have all those stitches in yet. So I didn't do that part. But look at her hand. I got it done. I haven't back stitched yet, but I got finished with her hand and the flower that she's holding. I think that's beautiful. I even got a couple of leaves in because they touched the hand here, and I wanted this whole section done so that the hand was formed in there beautifully. These little open spaces, of course, are for beads. Isn't that exciting? Here comes her neckline on her dress. Oh, this is just looking so, so good. So, I stitched today 206 stitches, not a lot, but it hit my small goal. And I very well may, in fact, I think I'm going to, keep this out and stitch on it again tomorrow. You may not see that till the next video, because I'm going to look and see if I have enough footage to go ahead and put something up tomorrow, because with my company here this weekend, I will not have time at all to do any kind of filming, and putting a video up while they're here. And I normally try to do that on a Sunday. So I will go ahead and try to get that up tomorrow on the 30th for the end of June. Oh, I hope you've had a great month. I have. Oh my goodness, my month of June has been fabulous. I really liked how it turned out. I wasn't sure how I would like the process that I came up with, which was my mid-year check-in. And that was when I checked every single one of my whips out to see, do I need to be at a certain point if there's something I'm going to try to finish by the end of the year? And that sort of transitioned into almost every whip I had. I set a small goal of where I wanted that whip to be before I started all the things in July. And so it really helped me to make a lot of progress, and you've seen that. You've seen my finish on Crabapple tree, and you've seen me get my special stitch for my sister halfway. It's completely halfway done. I'm so excited. So now, tomorrow's the 30th. I'll probably wrap up my stitching on Royal Games, and then I get ready to do all the new starts. I'm excited. I will, as I mentioned before, put below in the description box my list of what I'm starting on what date, in case you're interested to see if you have some of those same patterns and might want to start one of them with me. That'd be great. Otherwise, I don't think, nope, I don't have another, maybe, I think I had a viewer that told me once that when I got ready to start Halloween Quaker, that they would like to start it with me. So I will be starting Halloween Quaker in the month of July, because it is my whip go number for July that I have to work on. And so I may start that on one of the days that I don't have one of my Christmas starts scheduled. And I'll just have to let you know how that's coming. I haven't planned it yet. I haven't got it ready. I mean, I've got it kitted. I just don't have it on my schedule yet. Okay, that's all I can tell you about as far as my stitching. I will tell you a little brief update on life update, and that is that I have a cute little footage of Coco that my husband took today. He took her to Free Chapel, which is a church near us, and they have an amphitheater on their campus, and it has artificial turf, and the turf goes down all the little steps like seats in the amphitheater. And there's some pretty large pieces toward the end in the back, up close to the parking lot, to the road. And Coco adores playing in the artificial turf. She must think it's a carpet, because she gets down on that turf on her side and just spins and spins, dragging herself around, scratching her face and her body. I don't know, maybe it scratches her well. Maybe it feels good, you know. It obviously does, because she does it like crazy. Anyway, my husband came home tonight and showed me this video, and I said, I have to have that from you. I have to share that with everybody. So you will see it at the end here, Coco playing in the artificial turf. And the other cute picture I have of her is my husband, when we take her for a walk, if it's been misty, rainy, or if it's too early in the morning, there's dew on the ground, and we're having to take her early in the morning because of the heat here. She gets her little paws really wet, and the fur on the bottom of her feet, you know, on the bottom of her leg gets real wet. And so we bring her home and put her on her grooming table, and we dry her off. We have a little blow dryer that's hers. It's made for pets. Doesn't get too hot. And she loves getting up on the grooming table. She doesn't mind it at all. She's been groomed since she was born, so, you know, that's normal for her. So my husband put her up there to dry her feet off yesterday, and took a picture of her. So I'll have that in here as well. I hope it gives you just a little love from Coco. I enjoy sharing her with you all, and so many of you seem to really enjoy her. So that's my end of this video, and I will probably end it here and go ahead and put it up tomorrow if I can. I hope you're having a great month of stitching. I'm looking forward to July. I hope you are. I'm going to have a great time on July 4th weekend. I'll tell you all about it when I come back. So excited to see our friends, and I hope that you are safe throughout this holiday weekend. If you're celebrating boating or doing anything, please be careful. In the meantime, till I see you again, happy stitching.